about this clip that I missed from last week, and as you watch it, remember that this is Andrew Marr, the former host of the Andrew Marr Show, which was the main political interview show during the 3 years after the referendum, where Brexit was pretty much the only thing on the news. And he's asking, how did we get here?
There are some days when I just honestly have to throw up my hands and confess I don't understand anymore. I don't get it. Most of the media seems utterly gripped by whether or not a sports commentator should have tweeted something rude about the government, rather than by the effect of, for instance, the new migration policy or human slavery or little things like whether or not we're really going to get economic growth to the point where we can actually pay food and energy bills, piddling stuff by comparison, I know, with saint or sinner Gary Lineker. It just seems to me that the news has taken leave of its senses.
The reason Gary Lineker became the story was because the BBC tried to fire him for attacking the policies and language of the government, and the reason they tried to fire him for that was because they were bowing to pressure from the government. So the core problem here is the UK media taking its lead from the government and following their narratives. And they're still doing that today, because even though the government's official experts say that Brexit is costing our economy £100 billion a year, which means that objectively, this government, on balance, has made this poverty crisis worse, no news channel is saying that. But of course, Andrew Marr, the person complaining about this now, would never be guilty of parroting the government's pro-Brexit right-wing rhetoric while holding a position of such influence. But what was the first thing he said after the referendum?
Waves of migration and globalised culture washed among us, eroding our sense of self. Whole communities changed colour and language, leaving older people bemused and cut off. As the numbers from Eastern Europe rose, eager, white, hard-working, new neighbours, alarm grew in the poorer parts of the country. But the self-confidently, multi-ethnic, liberal, urban class, high on high house prices and high employment levels, was having such a good time they barely noticed.
And for the record, here's how he introduced that little speech.
I just wanted to start with a few thoughts of my own.
So even if that attack on multi-ethnic society was not his own opinion, he still stated it without criticising it. Now granted, he did tone down the racist rhetoric pretty quickly after that, but he, just like every major UK news channel, stuck to the line of the EU referendum was democratic and we're going to take a 50-50 approach as to whether or not Brexit will be good or bad for the UK. Now that's despite the fact that it was clearly mathematically impossible to please the winning 52% in that referendum, because the parties that represented them wanted completely incompatible versions of Brexit. And the fact that 9 out of 10 economists said Brexit would damage the economy, and the British Medical Association said it would damage the NHS, including saying that it would make us more vulnerable to deadly pandemics, and they said that in 2018. So the simple truth was Brexit could not be democratic and Brexit would damage the UK, but no major UK news channel said that because that went against the rhetoric of both major parties. So of course the UK media is going to express more outrage at a footballer's tweets than at a government that's literally laughing at the idea of sending desperate refugees to offshore camps, and has deliberately made the sharpest fall in living standards on record even worse, because journalists like Andrew Marr helped truth and decency die, which is why so many independent creatives have sprung up in recent years to try and fill that void. So Andrew Marr, if you're wondering what went wrong and how did we possibly get here in UK media, the call is coming from inside the house, my friend.